Hey guys, what's up? It's Spartacus here for part two of the Arena um, Paladin Arena. So I think that I was thinking about this, and I think that the best example or the best lesson that we can learn already from this arena is to play how your deck is, or play like how your deck is. So this deck has a little bit of draw. It's fairly aggressive. It has a fair amount of ones, four ones, or two of them are secrets, and one of them is a card draw mechanic. But fair amount of twos. It's basic. It's a tempo deck, so it's important to get the board and keep it. I think, and then just win and just keep pushing for the win. I think that's important, and I think that because Paladin is a class that you can choose to play very slowly if you'd like because of the hero power. So if you want, instead of playing a 2-drop on a turn, you can just hit the button and spawn a 1/1. But it's important to note when you're playing Paladin Arena what your curve looks like. If it's a late game curve, then maybe you can push the button more and then scale into the late game. But in this case, I think it's important to keep the board and to play the cards that I have in my hand, unless I really think I need them for later. So I'm going to show some examples of this. I'm not sure how many games we'll do. I guess we'll see. But this deck does look very strong. Wonder who we'll go up against first. In Arena, I think that Paladin's a little weak to Mage in Arena, which is um, annoying because Mage is so popular right now. Because the hero power can be canceled out by their hero power, so if you're just top decking against them, it's basically a wash. And they also have the flame strikes on the board clears, and as Paladin you like to put down all the 1/1s and fill up the board, and then they can just remove it with one card, so that can be a little bit frustrating, but that by no means means that you can't beat Mage as a Paladin in Arena. I just think it's not a great matchup. This is a good matchup though, because if you are set top decking at the end of the game, um, their hero power just heals for 2, and your hero power keeps bringing out 1/1, so it's more powerful. So you can flood the board, and they can't really do anything because they don't have any way to counter all your 1/1s. Wind Fury Harpy is going to go back. Muster for Battle is so strong, so I'm going to keep it. And Bloodsail Raider is my 2-drop. Muster for Battle, I think, is a great card to keep. I think it's just so powerful. Oh, hey, there we go. Pretty good. So here, I think I'm going to play them with Noble Sacrifice. Sometimes it's nice to save it if they have like just a 3/2 on the field, then you can guarantee. But on turn one, usually they will play a 3/2, or and you can kind of guarantee it. And if they play a 2/3, I can just and it attacks, I can hit it with one of the Tidehunter, the little Murloc Scout that comes out of there, because that's the card I plan to play next. We're gonna fill up the board early. Hope he doesn't have Holy Nova, although that is a few turns off anyway. Perfect. So our secret is going to get the trade here. I'm going to play this because I can get more value on the Bloodsail Raider once I play a Muster for Battle. I don't think it's actually clear what I'm going to play next turn yet. We'll see what happens on this turn. He might not attack. Sees the bad news. It's probably the one he wanted to see least. It's worth noting when going up against Paladins, if you can, if they play a secret on turn 1, to play a 2/3 if you have that option. So I'm going to play actually Dancing Swords here because while Muster for Battle is nice, it doesn't give me, it gives me a lot of war presence, but it doesn't quite give me the ability to trade into anything big if he does decide to play something big. I would have to run all the 1/1s in there. Dancing Sword is just a stronger presence. In a way. And if you're going to play Dancing Sword, it's best to play it early and to go really aggressive. which is what we're going to try and do. Either way, we don't have a 4-drop, so it's looking like we're going to have to play one of the 3 drops next turn. So, oh wow, wow, that is a very slow play from him. I think his only chance here is to have a Holy Nova, based on what I'm about to play. Oh, beautiful. That was a great draw. Put it on that because it's hardest to kill. Fill out the curve perfectly. And we'll swing with the weapon here. Use the coin to coin out the micro machine, I believe, so. You can't coin Holy Nova. What is a Naru? Okay. Pretty easy to deal with. I'll probably run two, or I'll run one of these in and hit it with my face. We'll see. So yeah, I'm following my game plan to be really aggressive with this deck. Okay. So he's probably wanting to bait me into hitting that to that so that he can Holy Nova. I'm not going to allow that. I'm going to clear some of the things I have on the board. Play the Blood Accelerator, dude. No use in wasting the Consecration. I'll find better things to consecrate. And it's nice to kind of play around Holy Nova a little bit. I'm going to run the Murloc in to, as one of them to make it seem like I have... Actually, I'm going to run both the Murlocs in and then one of these to make it seem like I might have Quartermaster or something in my deck. So let's do it this way. Ordering against a priest doesn't matter. The only thing to think about is the fact that there's a Direwolf Alpha, so I'll set it up best for that. Try to have all the dudes on the right, and then the other minions on the left. And I'll keep the Clockwork Gnome just in case Holy Nova. Well, the Holy Nova isn't even that good here for him. I think that me putting down the Clockwork Gnome might have incentivized him to do it. We'll see. Oh wow, that is a very valuable Dancing Swords. Okay. Play here is interesting. I think I might Stormpike Commando, hit with a dude, and then continue on. I still have things that will survive a Holy Nova, and you won't be able to play anything else. Again, I'm going to save the Clockwork Gnome. There's some X energy, which is good to save it for. But you can see what the weakness of the deck is, and it's going to be Area of Effect. So Flame Strike might be worrisome down the line. Okay. That's why I like this card in Arena. Just saved him. I mean, for the turn at least. Okay. It's probably trade this in again to play around Holy Nova. And then play the Silverhand Knight and a dude. In the middle, the dude there. And I should have lethal in pretty well every situation. Ooh, I forgot to change my card back. I have the legend card back on right now, and I feel this is just a theory, and I can't prove this anyway, but I feel like I remember before, like I hit legend, and I was always trying to hit legend, or I was impressed by people that got there, what the situation may be, because I couldn't get past rank 10 or whatever it was. I remember whenever I saw a legend card back, I would like focus a lot more and play a lot better. I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna try and beat this guy. So that's how I thought. So then I remember I used this and I was using this in Arena and I went on a really bad run. Like I could not win a game in Arena with the legend card back. So I think it's probably more of a superstition. Probably, but I don't like having it up in Arena. So I don't know. Odd superstition. Maybe that's all it is, but I think there might be some small merit to it. But again, very small, very not a big deal if I leave it on or off for the most part. It's like when you see the first card back, the blue one, like the original one, on someone, and then you either think they've never played before or they're playing a mind game with you. Like they're not they never played before, but they're fairly new to the game, or they're playing like a mind game on you, and they've actually been playing like a really long time, and they just use that. A lot of people do that so that their opponents will underestimate them. I frankly don't like the blue card back that much, so. Okay, Frostwolf Warlord might be amazing here on turn 5 with this opening. Same opening as last game, I'm going to keep it. But it's a little too ambitious, I think. I think if you... Yeah, I think this is fine. Okay, great. We can go Ooze into Muster into Raider plus Dude or whatever. We'll see what else we draw. This deck only technically has one drop, so there's no use fishing for it aggressively. Oh, there it is. But it's not the right turn for it. Ooze. You do the Ooze instead of the Raider for a few reasons. One is that it trades up to 3 drops. If you were to coin out a 3 drop, a lot of them have 3 health, so it's a good trade in a lot of situations. Oh no. Oh. I was hoping he'd coin out the ping, because now he has the board. Although that was played before my Muster for Battle came out. Now the question is, do we play Gnomish Experimenter or Muster for Battle? Gnomish Experimenter trades into that. Muster for Battle, I think, is better, though, in general, because then next turn I can play my Direwolf Alpha along with the Blood Accelerator. So this is the play. And then we hit it, get its health down a little bit. He might be forced to ping some stuff. That's what he might feel like he needs to do. Hit my face. Yes. Greed. Ladies and gentlemen, greed. Now he's going to get punished for that because these are going to trade into his board perfectly. Direwolf Alpha magic right there. And then again, other things on the left, dudes on the right with the Direwolf Alpha, play the Raider. And I'm going to choose to not attack because I don't have another weapon in my hand, and the 1 damage is sometimes very valuable, so I'd like to get 3 charges, and I don't see hitting him in the face for 1 is usually fairly inconsequential. Usually. If I'm off lethal by 1 later in the game, and it could be traced back to this, then I'll eat my words. Okay. Here it is the Spider Tank plus a dude. It's a Spider Tank because it's just stronger than the Gnomish Experimenter. I don't need to draw cards yet. And it's just a dude because it's more on curve. I can fit this gnome in next turn. Again, we save the weapon. So he's been able to shut us down so far pretty good. I guess we'll see what else. It seems like he's got a lot of removal. Okay, we can kill this with just what's on board. Ooh, that's a good card. Okay, so we're going to play that plus a dude. And kill this with what's on board. At least the first part of it. Our Direwolf Alpha is gone, so it doesn't matter what order we put it in except for the Cone of Cold. So in order to play around Cone of Cold, you put your weakest stuff in the middle. Cone of Cold affects 3 cards, but I just do it preemptively because who knows, my board might grow bigger. You put your weakest cards in the middle because they probably want to freeze your bigger minions. So if you have those on the outside, they might they'll be forced to not be able to freeze both of your biggest minions. Oh yeah, one of the best in the game in terms of 2-drops. I mean. Okay, so here we can, because it's coming up on Flamestrike turn, I'm going to play the Guardian of Kings. And also, I have enough health loss that the Guardian of Kings will get full value. Let's see what he does against this. Okay. It's going to be a bit of a weak turn then, probably. Good. Arcane Missiles? Ice Lance? He was floating over a card. Trying to think of 1-mana spells. Mirror Image. Okay. So here it is going to be Gnomish Experimenter. I don't think it'll hit a spell. There just aren't enough in the deck, but we can always hope. And I got to play it. I need more on the board. Fortunately, this is pretty well protected for Flamestrike. I'm trying to think. I guess I should draw first and see if there's anything I can do. If I get like a Hammer of Wrath, nope. Tinkertown. That's annoying. I'm probably going to play the muster soon, so sit face, make a dude, and I don't want anything more to die to Flamestrike, so I'm just going to do this. Leave it as it is. Save the cards I have. Okay, so it wasn't Arcane Missiles. Not bad for me. It's worth noting that the Gnomish Experimenter, card that just died, is better in decks with less big creatures because it doesn't feel as bad to turn a smaller creature into a chicken. But turning, let's just say, like, you know, something, especially if you have legendaries in your arena deck, it's probably worse. Okay, so we're going to be using the Archer Protector. He hasn't shown that he has any sort of board clear, but I still want to keep this at full health. And then probably, like, we just want to kind of wait him out now. We don't have to be too aggressive. Against a mage, you can't really be too aggressive. It's not good to be. So I'm probably just going to play this plus the gnome. This doesn't play around my control text, so maybe I'll also play the chicken. Now it kind of does. Most of the options he has are crappy to take. When you're ahead, playing around mind control tech is a good idea. That's a good card for him. It's against any other class, or a lot of other classes, I'd be very tempted to just put all my cards out there. Not against druids because they could swipe it, but mage you just can't, and it's kind of the power of mage is the unseen effects of people playing around Flamestrike. They just can't play that aggressive all the time because if they put all their cards out there, they might all die. Okay, I'm going to put this on. What am I going to put this on? I can time rewinder this, which sounds really appealing. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I want to save this as health, or I want to save the Guardian of King's health as much as possible. So it's a very powerful card to time rewinder. And again, we have a lot out there. We'll just do next turn, if he doesn't have any more taunts or whatever, because he keeps putting those in the way, we'll put down the Blessing of Kings and we'll get a lot more aggressive. We're just being patient right now. Okay. Wow. That was a really poor use of Enhanced Mechano, because it already has 2 of the possible outcomes on it. So it would get you Wind Fury, but either way it's going to die. I don't. That was... I do not agree. Okay, I know. I want to buff up the chicken because it's going to be funny. So this will trade out that. Unfortunately, it's going to be at... No, actually, I want to keep this at 6 health. Although, ooh, this is frustrating. You know what? I actually have to buff up this so it can't get pinged off. And I'll do this. I'll play the Noble Sacrifice because it trades perfectly into the 3-2. This way I can play around Flame Strike and he can't ping anything off while still killing the Sunwalker. So I am playing very slowly right now, which isn't really what I'd like to do with Arena, but in this case, or with not an Arena, which isn't what I'd like to do with this deck specifically. Oh wow, okay, so here's where we just finish him. But against Mage, sometimes you need to. Cool. Okay, I'll do one more. And in the description, I'll put how the deck goes. So far with my videos, I've gone, first one went 8, next one went 5, and then the one after that went 6. I think the Warlock one is a real good example of how you can draft a good Warlock deck without actually getting any good cards. That's why I think it might be the most powerful class. Even though I don't think I don't have my best record with it, my best record with Paladin, but its variance is low, I guess is what I should say. The Warlock class, usually you'll get like at least a deck that can go, well, I guess mine went 6, so at least can go like 5 or so if you just pack in a bunch of small creatures and just keep drawing and flooding the board. Shaman. Okay. So Shaman has the Lightning Storm, which you only really play around. You only really play around rare cards when you're really far ahead. You play around epics, probably never, unless you're like I guess you play around epics when you're really far ahead. You play around rares when you're ahead, like decently ahead, and then you play around just normal cards, uncommon cards all the time because those are the ones you see the most. Noble Sacrifice I'll keep. I'm going to throw the other two back. Pretty easy turn 1 here. Noble Sacrifice. Let's see if he makes the same mistake that the last guy made. The priest guy. I don't have a turn 2, but the Noble Sacrifice will at least keep me in the game a little bit. Okay, great. So it is dude. As there's nothing else to play. The beauty of Paladin, too. If you don't have a turn 2 play, you're not just pinging his face or not doing anything. Just like Shaman, you can at least make a totem or do something semi-productive. Well, I love Gaslow. It's a great card. Okay. Dancing Swords trades into that, so we're going to play Dancing Swords. Consecration also is something I'm going to save against a Shaman because it can just clear all the totems. It's a very powerful card against Shaman. I like to get the most value out of it as possible. That was a good way to test it, by the way. If you can get down with a weapon, it's very good. Excellent job by him. I'm going to ruin his day a little bit, but excellent job by him. So we're going to put the Blessing of Wisdom. No, we're not. Let's just dude up. We don't need cards right now. And it's nice to play on curve. So plus that, he's going to be overloaded for 1 next turn, so he can only use 3, which is nice. Hopefully no Lightning Storm because this is probably a board he would Lightning Storm. She's not a morning person. Stormpike Commando is actually pretty good here. I'm still vulnerable to Lightning Storm, but I feel like that would have been played last turn. So I'm going to make the assumption that he doesn't have it. I'm going to do this. This saves my Dancing Swords. Swing for face. And it's on curve, which I love. Love to play on curve. When in doubt in Arena, play on curve. It's my motto. Yeti. I don't have anything great for that. That is a card, though. I might just bypass the Yeti. I think I'm going to. I don't want to trade in two things. So I'll let... Here, actually, because this is 7/7. If I trade in two... I'm trying to think of... Okay, so this does 11 damage. I put him down to 12, which means I win if he doesn't have Lightning Storm. He's shown the inability to have it, so I'm going to take the risk. It's a risk, though, because if he does, he can put the Yeti in and then Lightning Storm. The other question is, should I use Blessing of Wisdom? And I think I will. I'll put it on my weakest thing, so that incentivizes him to trade into it. I just use it as a cycle in this case. It fills out my mana curve. But if I get more value out of it, then that's great. Okay, the moment of truth. He does not appear to have Lightning Storm, as I suspected. Looks like this is a win, depending on... Even if it's a totem, it doesn't matter. He's going to... he's just going to fill the board. Very quick win. Okay. This deck looks like it's going to be pretty good. So thanks for watching. And hopefully you learned something. Trying to do my best. If there's anything you want to know about Arena in general, let me know. If I have enough feedback from... These videos haven't gotten a lot of views, and a lot of them are a personal thing for me, but if there's a lot of feedback, I've been thinking about making my own tier list. Just for me to consult for myself, so I know my thoughts on it, and also for people that, for those few of you out there that do want a tier list and what in a vacuum is better than another card. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.